Hi, my name is Mario Gomez. I'm a student here at Concordia University, Irvine. I'm here to talk about self-improvement today. So we're going to go ahead and move on with that. What is self-improvement? Um, Dictionary.com says improvement of one's mind, character, and etc. Through one's own efforts. So you want to improve mentally, physically, through your character, through the efforts that you put forth. So I like this picture here. It says one does not simply improve their life by just reading about how to improve it. So yeah, sometimes we read things or we watch things. We're like, oh, that's really cool. But until we put it into action, it's not going to work out for us, especially self improvement. So don't talk the talk, walk the walk kind of thing. So I like to say, don't talk about it, be about it. So if you're going to say, you want to do something, let's do it. As far as self improvement. My definition of self-improvement is something that I learned from my senior at University of Laverne from Mike Preston. He was my defensive line coach, and he would always preach, never be satisfied, NBS. And what does that mean? It just means you could always improve, no matter with football, on the field, off the field, in class, as a human being. It is a motto that I have taken forth and kind of lived my life by. Never be satisfied. Coach my players by that same philosophy of never being satisfied, of always improving. So Russell Westbrook, NBA All-Star player, I believe he won the MVP of the league last year. He's quoted as saying, "I'm never satisfied. I'm always trying to get better and learn from my mistakes." And as an all-around basketball player, year to year, he has improved to eventually win the MVP of the league last year by getting so many triple doubles. But he's trying to improve himself, on the basketball court. Another thing it says that if you improve by 1% every day, within a year you'll have improved by 365%. So getting better by just 1% every day. 365% seems like a lot when you look at it as a whole, but when I'm just working today, I'm going to work on this and get better at this little thing. Then tomorrow, I'm going to get better at this. So small little victories. Yeah, 365% seems like a lot at the end of the day, when you think of it as a whole. But when you're just grinding, put your head down and working on these little things, these small little victories turn to big victories later on. So an example of self improvement for my players is I'm a football coach, former football coach, and I'm a big technician, coach the defensive line. So 3-point stance. I always tell players, you want your feet shoulder width apart, staggered stance, squat back flat, hands, butt, kind of similar to a hot rod, just like in the picture there with the big tires in the back, small tires in the front. So we have a lot kind of heavy on our hand, so we explode forward, have no missteps. So maybe I have a football player who's never played football before, and after the first practice, they're like, "Hey, Coach Gomez is kind of crazy. What's this 3-point stance deal?" And he asked a buddy, like, "Hey, can you help me? What do you mean feet shoulder width apart? My feet are too narrow, too wide. I don't understand." So at the end of the day, maybe that person goes home and practices feet shoulder width, and he's like, "Oh, cool, I got it." Comes back the next day, notice his feet, great. Now he's going to work on, focusing on staggering his stance. He's in right foot in the middle of the left, and then back to shoulder width apart, or a comfortable stance. Now he starts to get that. Next day he works on his back being flat, heavy hands, and so on and so forth. So that way he explodes. So every day he's working on something to get better. Um, through his technique in the sport of football as a defensive lineman. So that's something we're looking to improve on. And once he gets better at that, then we can start focusing on different things. But it all starts with the stance for me. An example of self-improvement in coaching, as you see here through the Arnold Schwarzenegger picture, he says, "Do it. What are you waiting for? Do it now." Right now, we want action. It kind of goes back to the first definition of self-improvement, where we want to improve. It's by action. And you can't just read about it, think about it, watch videos about it. You have to take action. So through these courses, I've improved myself through the readings, videos, presentations, assignments, tests, quizzes, discussion boards, fill in the blank. I'm improving myself because I'm thinking about how I used to coach. If I want to continue that, if I want to go through different avenues of future coaching, things that I wasn't good at, things I want to improve on, things I was good at that I want to improve on. So we have to do it. There's no other way about it. We just gotta go ahead and do it. We can't just talk about it. So I like this picture here. It says sometimes I just like to sit back and reflect. It's metacognition, thinking about thinking. You have to think about how you want to improve and how you are going to improve and then go out and actually do it. So we can't just kind of sit and, like, yeah, I'll do it later, or oh, it's not really a problem. I won't have to worry about it. But really think about how we're going to reflect. So the same coach from Laverne also taught me the very first year that I coached. I was a young coach, straight out of college, coaching high school. And he was saying that you have to evaluate yourself. So, have interview your players, have other interviews with your coaches, have interviews with your administrators, have them, kind of tell you the good things you do, the bad things you do, things you need to improve on, how you can get better. It's the only way you're going to improve. If you think you do everything great, you probably don't do everything great. So you're going to have to improve in some point. So we have to have an open mind and, be able to recognize kind of like what we need to improve and then actually figure out how we're going to improve it. Um, so the direct quote that I'm using is from Teaching Character Through Sport by Bruce Brown. He said, "Even though you should continually work to improve your coaching skills and style, you must realize there are no perfect coaches." So I like that. So you got to improve your skills and style, but you got to know that we're not. We're human beings. We're not perfect. We're gonna make mistakes. So as long as we continue to get 1% better and keep improving ourselves, then we it'll be a product we want to see and are proud of at the end. So we just got to keep improving. Self improvement further. I like this. So we're talking about being perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. So, and in a class I was taking the last term, I read something that said, "Never be satisfied," or the satisfaction kind of thing that I'm telling you about NBS. That it's not something you want to do as a coach because you're worried about being perfect or perfectionist, and it's never going to happen. But my version of never be satisfied is it's not about perfection. It's about getting 1% better every day, improving yourself. So here's some things I came up with. It is not about being perfect. It is about getting better. It is about competing with yourself, not others. So, that's it in a nutshell. You want to compete with yourself and get better at whatever you do. Vince Lombardi said leaders are made, they're not born. They are made by hard effort, which is a price which all of us must pay to achieve a goal that is worthwhile. Absolutely, I agree with this quote by Vince Lombardi. Obviously, he's a legendary coach. You have to put in effort if you want something. Nothing's going to be given to you. So if you want something really bad or bad enough, you have to work for it. My quote, biblical quote, is from Luke chapter 1, verse 37. "For nothing will be impossible with God." So if we think of never being satisfied, and I'm scared, of whatever, this player I'm going to play against is huge, you know, all state or something, whatever it may be. If I live by this quote, nothing is impossible with God, then I know, like, hey, everybody, I could beat anybody. I just got to put the work in. And I'm going to leave you with this. Um, a guy I coached with, Victor Rubacava, he he's been coaching for over 20 years. When I was a young pup at the high school I was coaching at, I was a defense coordinator on varsity, and he was the freshman coach, coached for 20 years, and we were just conversing about something. He said, "Coach, when I tell you I know everything, when I tell you I know everything, Coach, says when you need to tell me to retire." So that kind of opened my eyes up as nobody knows everything. It doesn't matter how long you've been coaching, you can always improve yourself. If you think you know everything, you don't. And it's probably time to leave the game at that point. And that's self improvement in a nutshell. Thank you.